I just want to be clear that you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have, thank goodness.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be looking at the most infamous instances of celebrities who dragged each other to court to settle their disputes.
It's like the look on my face is abject terror. Like, I can see it in my eyes.
Nicolas Cage versus Kathleen Turner. The 1986 film Peggy Sue Got Married starred Kathleen Turner as a woman on the brink of divorcing her husband, played by Nicolas Cage.
It's over, Charlie. I don't want to hurt you. I want you to be happy.
While the film was a critical and commercial hit, the working relationship between the two actors was anything but smooth. In her 2008 memoir, Turner claimed that Cage was difficult to work with, alleging that he stole a chihuahua during filming and was arrested twice for drunk driving.
The Oscar winner took offense to Send Yourself Roses, My Life, Love and Leading Roles after the Romancing the Stone actress claimed he was arrested for drink driving twice and stole a chihuahua.
Cage denied these accusations and took legal action in London's High Court, suing Turner and her publishers for defamation, libel, and slander. The court ultimately ruled in his favor, ordering Turner to issue a public apology and forcing the book's publishers to correct the record in subsequent editions.
As well as a big sorry, Kathleen's publishers have agreed to insert a correction into her books, and along with associated newspapers, they'll all be making a substantial donation to charity.
Radiohead versus Lana Del Rey. In 2018, Lana Del Rey found herself in a copyright dispute over Get Free, the closing track from her fifth album, Lust for Life.
My modern manifesto.
Alternative rock band Radiohead apparently claimed that the song closely resembled their 1992 debut single, Creep. Del Rey revealed on Twitter that Radiohead's team had taken her to court, demanding full ownership of the song's publishing rights after rejecting her offer of 40%. However, the band's label denied both the lawsuit and the claim for 100% ownership. The situation was particularly ironic, as Radiohead had faced a lawsuit in the 1990s over similarities between Creep and the 1972 song The Air That I Breathe.
No cigarettes, no sleep, no light.
Eventually, the dispute was resolved out of court, although the songwriting credits for Get Free remain unchanged. Sofia Vergara versus Nick Loeb.
They had agreed at the time of in vitro fertilization that the embryos would remain as they are. They could be destroyed in the event that one of them died.
Hollywood actors Sofia Vergara and Nick Loeb began dating in 2010 and got engaged 2 years later. In 2013, while trying to have a child through surrogacy, they underwent in vitro fertilization and had 2 embryos frozen in a California clinic.
We actually went through the process of, going through in vitro, creating life, putting it to a surrogate once. We then put it into a surrogate again a second time.
After their breakup in 2014, Loeb sought to implant the embryos, but Vergara objected, citing their previous agreement that neither could use them without mutual consent. Loeb sued for custody in California, but later dropped that case and refiled in a court in Louisiana, arguing that the embryos had a right to life. He even named them Emma and Isabella as plaintiffs.
But it doesn't matter that 2 lives have already been created. I wouldn't just toss them aside, no different than a child that had been born.
However, the case was dismissed by the Louisiana court for lack of jurisdiction, as the embryos were conceived in California. Blac Chyna versus the Kardashians.
You have serious anger issues.
How am I gonna grab your face?
Why are you yelling, you psycho? What's wrong with you?
Look, because it's aggravating.
Blac Chyna's reality TV career took off in 2016 when she began dating Rob Kardashian. This led to appearances in Keeping Up with the Kardashians and her own spin-off, Rob and Chyna. However, their relationship ended after about a year, and soon after, Rob and Chyna was canceled. despite initially being renewed for a second season. In 2017, Blac Chyna filed a $100 million lawsuit against the Kardashians, accusing them of sabotaging her career by falsely portraying her as violent to network executives and getting her show canceled.
And her legal team has said that the Kardashians lied about that when they told the E! Network that Chyna assaulted Rob because they were hoping that the network would cancel the show, which they did.
The case was further complicated by the fact that Rob Kardashian posted explicit pictures of her after their breakup, which led to a separate lawsuit.
I was devastated, of course. I'm like, how could somebody post these pictures of me? And I'm like, wow, okay.
After a 2-week trial, however, the jury ruled in favor of the Kardashians. David Mueller versus Taylor Swift. At a 2013 pre-show meet and greet in Denver, Colorado, Taylor Swift met with fans and employees of radio station KYGO-FM. According to Swift, while posing for a picture with DJ David Mueller, he reached under her skirt and groped her. After she reported the incident, Mueller was fired from KYGO-FM.
What I'm saying is that I didn't do what they say I did. I didn't do it. I never grabbed her.
In 2015, he sued Swift for defamation, claiming her accusation was false and had ended his career. Swift countersued for sexual assault and battery, seeking only $1 in damages to emphasize that her lawsuit was about standing up for victims rather than financial gain.
But for Swift, it's not about money. She countersued for just $1. Anything more the jury awards her, she says, will go to charity.
The week-long trial took place in 2017, shortly before the Me Too movement gained momentum, and included testimony from Swift herself. Ultimately, the jury sided with Swift, awarding her the symbolic $1.
Taylor's mom, Andrea, cried as the verdict came down. Taylor also teared up, and she quietly mouthed thank you to the jury.
Ashley Judd and Rose McGowan versus Harvey Weinstein. Speaking of the Me Too movement, the bombshell October 2017 article that exposed producer Harvey Weinstein included allegations from actresses Ashley Judd and Rose McGowan.
But you went up because? I had a business appointment. Which is, that's his pattern of sexual predation. That was how he rolled.
Both women claimed Weinstein sexually harassed and assaulted them, then used his influence to sabotage their careers. In 2018, Judd filed a lawsuit for defamation and sexual harassment, alleging that Weinstein had blacklisted her in Hollywood, ultimately costing her a role in the Lord of the Rings franchise. The harassment lawsuit was, however, dismissed the following year.
You thought you were going to be used in this franchise?
I was being invited to consider which of the two roles I preferred.
And then all of a sudden, poof.
It was just poof.
McGowan, on the other hand, sued Weinstein, his lawyers, and a private intelligence firm, accusing them of running a conspiracy to silence and discredit her.
Oh, you have a meeting or come to a party, they would show up and that party is just him. Who got them there? Who are the assistants?
You're saying there was a machinery.
So I'm saying there's a massive machinery.
This lawsuit was also dismissed after she failed to file the required documents. Brad Pitt versus Angelina Jolie.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you as a couple?
8.
Wait. 10 being perfectly happy and 1 being totally miserable, or?
Just respond instinctively.
One of Hollywood's most beloved power couples, things turned sour between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie after Jolie filed for divorce in September 2016. The two had jointly owned Chateau Miraval, a winery in France where they got married in 2014. But after their divorce, Jolie sold her share of the business.
That's why when Angie reportedly sold those shares for about $54 million, it could be interpreted as a slap in Brad's face.
This led Pitt to sue her for allegedly breaking their agreement to seek each other's approval before selling. The lawsuit came amid an already contentious custody battle. In response, Jolie countersued, accusing Pitt of domestic violence, including a 2016 plane incident that reportedly led to her decision to file for divorce.
That's when she claimed she was injured, describing one injury as a rug burn type wound on her right hand. Jolie presented photos as well as journal entries from their children.
In November 2024, a judge denied Jolie's motion to dismiss Pitt's suit, allowing the case to proceed to trial. Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni.
The initial suit filed by Blake Lively was against Baldoni, Wayfarer Productions, as well as a few other people, alleging sexual harassment on the set of the film It Ends With Us.
The case between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni had already been dissected in the court of public opinion long before a trial date was set. Lively had filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, accusing Baldoni, her director and co-star, of sexually harassing her during production of 2024's It Ends With Us.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Lily.
Lily Bloom.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
You guys know each other?
No.
A little bit.
No, we
met a few months ago.
After the New York Times reported that Baldoni had orchestrated a smear campaign against her in retaliation, he sued the newspaper for $250 million. This prompted Lively to escalate her complaint to a federal lawsuit, which in turn led Baldoni to countersue her and her husband Ryan Reynolds for $400 million. As tensions continue to rise, both parties will have to wait until March 2026 to face each other in court.
Honestly, the court date, which is in 2026 or has been alleged to be in 2026, unless they settle earlier. But the court of public opinion is happening every day.
Kesha versus Dr. Luke. The music world was rocked in 2014 when singer Kesha sued her longtime producer Dr. Luke for sexual assault, battery, and emotional distress. She alleged that he had drugged and assaulted her early on and subjected her to years of psychological manipulation.
Yeah, she is accusing him of horribly abusive acts, physically, mentally, sexually, verbally, emotionally. If it's true, it's reprehensible.
As part of the lawsuit, she sought to be released from her contract with his label, Kimosabi Records. However, Dr. Luke denied the allegations and countersued for defamation and breach of agreement, claiming Kesha had fabricated the accusations to escape her contractual obligations.
But Dr. Luke is fighting back. He's filed a countersuit calling it all extortion and says Kesha's claims are outrageous and untrue.
The case sparked intense debate about the treatment of women in the music industry and the power dynamics between producers and young artists. After nearly a decade in the courts, the two eventually reached a confidential settlement in 2023.
Kesha writing, "Only God knows what happened that night," adding that while she can't recount everything that happened at the time, she's looking forward to closing the door on this chapter of life and beginning a new one.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's marriage officially ended in 2017 without much fanfare. The following year, Heard released an op-ed in which she described herself as a survivor of domestic violence.
It was about me and my life and what I endured once I moved on and got a TRO and moved on with my life. It was about what happened to me after.
Although she didn't mention Depp by name, he sued her for defamation, asserting that Heard was actually the violent one in the marriage. Heard then countersued Depp, setting off one of the most high-profile legal battles in modern history.
And it's not just the fans. This courtroom drama has for millions become daily viewing.
As the trial was live-streamed, it drew large audiences and led to widespread discussions on social media, with many siding with Depp and viewing Heard as manipulative. In the end, the jury ruled largely in favor of Depp, awarding him $10 million in compensatory damages, while Heard received $2 million for part of her counterclaim.
Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no.
Which of these legal battles did you follow in real time? Let us know in the comments.
Lively says this is tainting the jury pool. So, this is not the end. We are going to hear so much. It's getting very ugly.
Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.